What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the WrestleManiac UK YouTube channel. My name is Mex. I'm alongside my co-host Gigi. We are about to talk about AEW Dynamite from last night. A bit of a quiet show. Nothing major in terms of headlines. Still a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. Gigi, how you doing?
Yo, good man. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I'm looking forward to this show to discuss. I think, like I said, there's nothing major that happened, but there's a lot of kind of little bits, wrinkles, good and bad, to go through.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy the show a lot, and I'm usually the one
You're the
fighting
optimistic one.
fighting the A when it comes to AEW. Yeah, maybe not life, but but yeah, I'm usually the one fighting their corner. But yeah, there's a few issues I thought that I didn't really like this week as well.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Before we jump into it, guys, do all the usual stuff. Hit like on the stream, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. GG also has a channel, it's GG on Wrestling. That is in the description. So click the link there and subscribe to his channel as well. And if you're listening audio, in the audio realm, make sure favorite, 5-star reviews, all that stuff. Follow us. Let's keep growing this podcast. So without further ado, we're gonna jump into AEW Dynamite. And I guess the headline that we're kind of leading with today's show is this impassioned Hangman promo that he delivered. Nothing like I would say we've ever seen Hangman do. He took to the mic. Tony Schiavone was going to interview him. He kind of just took it away from Tony Schiavone and just owned the segment, ranting at Punk. And it was like on the cusp, I would say, of like a heel turn. It was on the cusp in terms of the lingo he was using. It was on the cusp of like one of these "you people" promo, like all you do is like, oh, Punk is your favorite, this, that, and the other. It was going in that direction, but he still maintained, this new Hangman that we've come to love. He's no longer the anxious cowboy, especially, he's growing into this role as a champion, with every segment, with every match and everything. Those people that, once said he's nothing but, an anxious millennial cowboy, he's nowhere near those guys anymore. So he's developing into his own man. First thoughts, Gigi, what was your thoughts on this promo?
Yeah, I just found it a bit not out of character as such, but it just didn't work, man. It was just, did he actually say why? Like, I'm not gonna come here and, he said I would usually say I love CM Punk, I respect CM Punk, but I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, but for why? Did he actually say that? But for why part? Like, he just seemed to just start going at him and saying, we're not gonna wrestle a masturbatory Bret Hart match, as he put it, which I liked.
Yeah.
I did like him pinpointing that one CM Punk fan and saying, look in my eyes and I'm going to tell you straight. I liked that. I really liked that. Like, just as a thing to do in a promo, singling out one lonely fan to, hone in on. But yeah, the actual material of it and the execution just wasn't. I think he's obviously, like you said, the millennial cowboy stuff, he's trying to shake all that off and try and project this confidence, but there was just no meat.
I think I do get where you're going. It was confusing in the aspect of Hangman is someone that lives and dies by his character. Like, his character has been so key throughout everything they've done in AEW. Like, we know Hangman can wrestle. He is one of their best performers that they have. But his character has been super, super key, and everything his character does, facial expressions, body language, stuff he says, this was really left field. Like, obviously, we never saw him last week. He's just recovered from COVID. This promo segment was supposed to happen last week, so it has been said. But from where we last saw him, which I think was the title defense against Adam Cole on Rampage, this is yeah, totally just a bit out of character. I liked my champion looking like a champion, not looking like a wussy, coming out, calling the shots. He's like you said, he stuck it on a fan like that punk shirt you're wearing. You better still have the receipt. You're gonna need to return it, or if you haven't burnt it by the time I'm done with him, and like all of that kind of stuff. Really, this is the fire that we were asking for from him for so long. So we can't be too disappointed. But I'm definitely agree with you. I'm definitely in the camp of, does this slightly confuse his character? And yes, I guess they want someone in this match to I guess wear the heel pants and show that's what they're on, sort of thing. But
I thought it would be Punk though. If anyone was gonna just step into that role somewhat, I thought it would be Punk. It's just a bit
what what
baffling to me.
what was the last big match that Punk had and he kind of played heel? Was that the Eddie Kingston one, or was there?
Dustin, not really.
No, no. I mean, there was a big match, like a pay-per-view match. I think it was Eddie Kingston. There was
Possibly.
someone. There was someone. Yeah, there was someone, and Hunk Punk done the thing of kind of being that tweener and firing shots and letting the other person be the outright face, basically. And I guess that's what Hangman's doing here. He's letting Punk be the outright face, showing some fire and all of that.
Hangman
But
just doesn't
again,
suit it, does he? I just don't feel like he suits it.
yeah,
Just
this
doesn't just
is
doesn't look good on him.
yeah, this isn't his bag. Like
Yeah.
he I know I've seen some of his heel work before in like Ring of Honor and stuff. I just feel where he is now, like he's just doing such a good job. He's just smashing it, and you could have just put two faces in the ring. Like I don't understand why any of them needed such and
Trash
such an
talk or
edge. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I was very cautious of going in here, and I was hoping just the big baby face. Everyone loves Hangman, everyone loves Punk, but
yeah.
I guess the crowd just have to. A lot of crowds are maybe fickle and they have to pick a side
Pick
to
a
cheer
side.
for
Yeah.
or boo for. Maybe I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Very odd. Very odd. Guys listening, obviously hit us up, let us know on the Twitter or wherever. Let us know your thoughts on all of this, because I think it's just not what we expected. Like I said, it wasn't terrible. Some of Hangman's lines were good, but yeah, I just think it confuses things a bit. Punk is on the show next week. Who's he taking on again? They announced it.
Johnny Hungy.
Hungy, that's it.
Man
John
like
Silver.
Hungy.
Yeah. So John Silver in his hometown of Long Island, New York.
Which again, like, I don't know if it will happen, but hometown hero is Punk going to get some boos. So why? It's just going to get even messier.
Yeah,
Like,
it's very
depending on how the crowd react to him next week, but it just adds another messiness. I don't know what's going on with this feud.
It's true. And you can only assume Punk's going to put away John Silver. There may be some unrest from the crowd, and then Hangman will come out for probably a segment between those two, and then who's going to be cheered or booed?
They should have just had it as it is, as we know it. This is a big match for Hangman, and I get he alluded to that, and made references to that, but it's a massive match in terms of this is a big name, CM Punk. They could quite easily put the belt on him because of him being a big name, and CM Punk could lean into that, and the whole thing of this is what I came back for, but they just need it. It doesn't need to be overly complicated, Hangman doesn't need to be talking dirt on him or anything. It just needs to be what it is.
Yeah,
Respect.
you're right. You're right. Like you said, the masturbatory Bret Hart tribute match was a great line. But yeah, it's all about just the match. The match kind of sold itself. We didn't need this per se. I'm going to ask you again. Probably going to ask you again next week as we're getting close to Double or Nothing. Punk or Hangman? Who's walking out as champion?
Who is, or who do I want to?
Who will walk out as champion?
Will. It's so tough. It's such a tough call, man. Like, I haven't even really thought about my own prediction yet, because I'm just so who's yours? Who are you rooting for, or who do you think at the moment?
I don't know. um,
That's what I mean. I just
I think like every time I think Hangman, I just still see Punk winning it, and then MJF beating Punk for the title, and
it
I'm
makes
assuming
sense.
MJF is going to take a loss at Double or Nothing because obviously he's going to face Wardlow, and Wardlow should beat him, and then he's going to get his big win back against Punk, like which kills two birds with one stone because he's got beef with Punk already. They're 1-1, neither of a match, so my brain
This
won't
is
let
the
me think of
thing.
anything different.
That's
Like,
I think I would like for Hangman to hold it
yeah,
longer, but it does make so much logical sense that Punk will, be the next champ. But that's the lovely thing about this feud and the match itself. Like, can you imagine like just the atmosphere of that match and just the uncertainty of the result? Because that's one that is really could go either way. So some of those near falls are gonna be heart stopping, man. In that
yeah. No, you're right. You're definitely right with that. Victor Punk in the chat, big up Victor. He says Hangman mentioning Punk being on another TV show made me laugh because on Tuesday I saw Punk on the TV show called The Mayans. So that's probably why he made the jib, because Punk is a TV star away from wrestling as well. But let's get into the overall review of the show. This show was from Baltimore, Maryland. It opened up with a Owen Hart Foundation qualifying match, and boy oh boy do I have something to say about this Owen Hart tournament once we get there. But yeah, we had this qualifying match between Jeff Hardy and Bobby Fish. Tidy match. It really did look like two men coming towards the end of their their wrestling careers. Like the kind of match that you see, with all due respect, on the indies, in a ring in a
but,
gym and
but
not very well
between
attended.
like Bushwhacker Luke and like some like old names. Because
Yeah.
yeah,
Honestly, like Adam Cole was on commentary, and obviously he was here rooting for his guy, which is Bobby Fish. We saw Sting and Darby Allin watching from the stands. Again, there was some good spots. Bobby Fish was working on the leg of Jeff Hardy. We saw Avalanche Falcon Arrow from the top, which Fish has been doing in recent weeks, and it looks great every time he does it. But Hardy comes through with what Hardy does: whisper in the wind, swanton bomb. Every time he went up there, Adam Cole was like, "Fish move, Fish move." But the final one, he got him, and Jeff Hardy wins the match and progresses into the tournament. So that third person of the Undisputed Elite, being Bobby Fish, doesn't qualify for the tournament. I think it was at this point the Young Bucks came down to the ring, right? And they had the stare down with the Hardys. Probably will be a double or nothing match, maybe Hardys versus Young Bucks. But Jeff Hardy progresses into this tournament. We've spoken about this tournament, and it's not looking like what we thought we were going to get in terms of personnel or the look of things. What's your thoughts on this initial match and the end result?
this is so unnecessary. Like,
Mm,
why is Jeff Hardy even in this tournament for one? I know you want the Derby Dream match, but you're rushing it. It doesn't need to be happening yet. Bobby Fish, the whole Undisputed Elite, him potentially winning could have played into a little infighting maybe, which could have been something better than Jeff Hardy, but just Jeff Hardy needs to go to bed, bro. I'm sick of seeing him. I'm sick of it, man. He's not a good wrestler. Like Bobby Fish is adequate, like, and he does his thing, but Jeff Hardy didn't make Bobby Fish look brilliant. He
mm.
didn't. Do you know what I mean? I don't think this match did anything for either of them, apart from obviously Jeff Hardy going forward and then the Young Bucks stare down. But it's just unnecessary. Like Jeff Hardy shouldn't be in this tournament. Like I wanted AEW faces, like originators, or a few big names, but not necessarily Jeff Hardy, he's not going to win. Like, let's be
Yeah.
real, he's not going to win. You're just doing it to get their dream match with Darby, and yeah, man, it was just poor. I know it was a qualifier to get in, but even that, man, come on, it was poor.
it's poor. Like you said, it's poor. And with this said dream match with Darby, I feel they could have built to it more. Like if you're gonna do qualifiers and then draw names and put a brackets together, and the first name that comes out of the hat is Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin, you should have had one of those ballot things. You know, you roll it, roll it, roll it, pull out the two names, and it's Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin, and there's suspense. Don't just
Yeah.
tell us that's it, and it's like, you know, and then we get obviously later on in the show we had Darby Allin saying, "Oh, okay, Jeff, it's you." Like no one was even enthused by it. Like
And
it
don't
was a
get me
letdown.
wrong, I like a tournament to set up a big random dream match. It works, right? It does. Don't get me wrong, like, but for reasons like you said, there's a hopefully maybe like a randomness, or they make their way towards each other by beating others or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
But when it's just, oh, here's your dream match, like, I don't know, man.
yeah, and it's just gonna happen
It'll be
on. It's
exciting.
next week, isn't it? It's next week on Dynamite.
Do you know what? Actually, let's just get it out of the way. Like, the quicker Jeff Hardy loses to Darby and they put the Young Bucks over, the quicker they can just go in it.
Yeah, move to
Like,
the side. Yeah, Victor Punk says Jeff Hardy needs to retire. He already gave everything for this business, and you can tell Jeff gets tired pretty quickly. Yeah, I've
my
noticed for
guy.
a long time since WWE, Jeff Hardy's conditioning, and yes, I'm in no place to speak. I'm not a professional wrestler, but his conditioning looks poor. He looks like he's always out of breath, sort of thing, and like struggling to the next spot, whatever the case is. Um, I thought he came here to do a hurrah with his brother in the tag division. I don't think anyone would have particularly minded too much if that's all this was. But to come on like a and get singles positions and stuff like that, it
And
is
a
a bit
push.
jarring.
Let's not get it wrong. It is not a push, but do you know what I mean? You're involved in what's supposed to be a very prestigious tournament,
Yeah.
and you've been
Well,
here 2 weeks, bruv.
what's supposed to be, like you said. Let's crack on. We got this excellent vignette, which some of us saw on social media beforehand.
Can
Of
I just say, I love it when people are like, "Oh, why was this on Dynamite?" And just trust sometimes, isn't it? It's gonna be on Dynamite. Just
to,
relax,
to
people.
be fair, though, this is like the first time they've ever done like something they put out on
Ah,
social media. Like not the first time, but one of the very few times it's actually crossed over to the main show. And even I was saying to my mate yesterday when I saw it on social media, I said, "This is excellent." Even if they put it on Dynamite, they ain't gonna show the whole 4 minutes, which they didn't. They showed like a
yeah, true.
truncated 1 minute version, but it was enough anyway. Very good. It's really setting up BCC and what they can do. Poor Wheeler Yuta just took beatings for the entire time.
That's what he's there for, and that's why they're using him so well, bruv. They know what they're doing. It's just smart. It's just smart booking. Just get the young buck to take the heat. He's already over with the crowd, and that will just keep getting him over more. The more he gets licks, the more, and then it makes them scream for Danielson and Moxley to make the save. It's just good match booking. Like, it's good.
So from there, we went into an actual Blackpool Combat Club match, another trios match. They were versing Butcher, Blade, and Angelico. And William Regal was on commentary. Um, there was a fast start where Butcher basically jumped Moxley from his entrance, and everyone kind of got stuck in very early. Pretty decent match, as we have been seeing from the BCC guys. It ended in this spot that's become iconic now of everyone picking one of their opponents and completely hammering them in the ring. And I believe it was Daniel Bryan or Brian Danielson that got the win for his side. What did you think of this match, firstly?
Yeah, well, like the Utah stuff I just said, I think that's just a good booking technique, and it just keeps getting him over with the crowd. I wasn't overly keen on Utah being the one bashing up Blade Butcher at the end,
Yeah.
but that's just a very small critique. But overall, it's just what you expect. They're building Utah. I want to, I really want in the next couple of weeks. We need either a big feud for them or development with another star coming in, a Moriarty or whoever it may be.
Mm.
There's only so many trios matches I'm going to take before there's either stakes or a feud, or we need something now. I think
Right.
maybe another week I could maybe take, but yeah, after that we're pushing it now.
Okay. So just on the basis of what you said, you're getting towards the question I was going to ask you, which is great. We are about 3 weeks out from Double or Nothing.
Is that all it is now?
Yeah, something like that. Double or Nothing, I believe, is the 29th of May. So we're about 3 weeks
Yeah, of
out.
course.
What are BCC doing at Double or Nothing? At least
Exactly.
Bryan Danielson and Moxley as the big stars of the group. What do you think is the plan for them? Is there a plan for them?
Well, it's not even going to be House of Black, which everyone is waiting to see, because they're going to be busy with Death Triangle.
Mm.
So I don't have any idea. Now you said that, I'm disappointed now. Because I didn't even, this year's going quick, let alone this month. But 3 weeks away. I think we mentioned this at maybe at the last pay-per-view. The build wasn't, it was kind of rushed to the pay-per-view bit. So I feel like that's happening again. Obviously, there are some key matches that have fallen into place, but BCC, they've been featured every week in prominent positions. There's nobody I can see. Like, what other are they going to go against a trio or
best friends? At best, like it makes sense, I guess. So
I
that
don't
would
know? But
be
then Okada
Trent.
and Trent are teaming up towards the end of there's a couple of weeks they're teaming, aren't they? Trent and Okada against someone.
Well, if
So I
it's
don't
not
know
on the
if that will
same
make.
night, then
Yeah, I know, but I just didn't know if it will start messing things up with
mm,
the kind of.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see because as growing as a company, AEW are, Moxley and Danielson are massive names, and it would very much help sell your pay-per-view if they're on it. So I don't know. It doesn't right now. There's no clear thing of what they're gonna do at this next pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, but.
Unless they just lay an open challenge or something to free Bullet Club members or something. I don't know. Or yeah, maybe
Even
could work.
still,
To
it's a
be
bit
fair,
wishy-washy.
yeah, I know, but that could work though.
Yeah,
Juice is over there trying to fight for Mox getting involved in the title
the
situation,
US
but
stuff. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see where that goes. We had a backstage promo of Jurassic Express. Of course, they are the tag team champions, and they were talking to Team Taz. I believe the Team Taz guys, Ricky Starks and Hobbs, probably will have an interview beforehand. I can't quite remember, but
yeah, they were.
yeah. And then Jungle Boy came out with Christian and Luchasaurus, and he doesn't mind giving them a tag team championship shot. However, he wants something for himself. He wants an FTW championship opportunity. And I asked myself, why?
It makes sense that it's like title shot for title shot, but when the title is like he put it, you're not defending it. Like, it is kind of funny though that nobody recognized this championship, but yet people are like, "Wait, let me hold that."
They want a
Like,
title yeah. I mean, I just see it as another opportunity for Jungle Boy to lose and then Christian to call him a loser again.
yeah, which works, but they didn't have to be stakes necessarily. But then I
Yeah.
guess why not? If they're feuding anyway, he's walking around holding this belt, you might as well chuck it in. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's not like
Yeah,
it amounts to anything.
yeah, it is what it is.
Give you a little main event on Rampage though.
Is it going to be on Rampage this week?
No. I'm saying it will. That's if you hold
Oh.
that belt in it, you might get a little Rampage main event.
I'm not even sure if that belt guarantees you that at this rate. SCW Steve in the chat. What's up, Steve? Hope you're well. He says Jungle Boy about to go on a losing streak until they lose the tag titles. The Christian Cage heel turn is coming. Yeah, that's exactly what I think this is. Obviously, it was very harsh the way Christian called him a loser last time, and then he went on to kind of repair what he said. But yeah, I think this is just another opportunity for Christian to stick the fork in once Jungle Boy loses here. So that was interesting. We then had another like a promo segment backstage of Swerve and Keith Lee. They're still saying they've got unfinished business with the Team Taz guys as well. And Keith Lee ended with what I thought was a horrible line in that we're gonna swerve in your glory.
That's something WWE would do. That's going to be, if that's their tag team name, I will. That, you know, when WWE just mash like Miz Show and like that stuff, man. But that stuff irks me, man. Just slapping, like, you can't think of an original name, like
Yeah,
just
that
slapping
that
names.
is that,
Breezango, stuff like that winds me up. I hate
yeah.
it.
That's not gonna be their name. I pray to God it's not gonna be their name, but it's just a terrible line. Like
Yeah,
I Swerve's face even like double took when he heard Keith Lee said it, and I'm sure he knew it was coming. Victor Punk says Jerry Show.
another
So
good
yeah,
example.
it was not great. Next up, the next action we had on the card was Wardlow match. Wardlow still coming to the ring, no entrance music, but this was, you know, officially Goldberg-esque. Like the way he was brought out this time, the chants of Wardlow in the Goldberg cadence, like this guy is over. Like I was so happy to see, you know, from where he's come from, even in like last couple of weeks, like this was massive. And it felt like, you know, we got a little segment after this match, and I felt like the entrance and how the crowd took to him in this match deserved what came next.
Yeah,
Because it really advanced where he was. He came out uncuffed, got into the ring. MGF's music hit. MJF introduced who we all knew it was, W. Morrissey, or as he called him, William Morrissey.
one of the worst wrestling names currently. Let's just, in it
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
like, it's
When it
terrible.
was announced, because when he left WWE, he was Kaz XL,
Yeah, which is,
which was all right.
it's better than Morrissey, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Have you ever
yeah.
listened to Morrissey? Same. Never.
Yeah, it was it's something, but yeah, I'm happy for him to get back on such a stage. He looks great. Obviously, we know there was like some mental health issues and stuff after he left WWE. He's got himself into terrific shape. He looks great, and this I was just happy for him. So
Yeah.
much so that I genuinely got pissed off when the crowd started shouting, "We want Enzo." Half the crowd obviously shouting, "No, we don't. We want Enzo. No, we don't." Because this is his moment. You know, he's
Yeah.
worked himself to this position. Like, yes, Enzo is he's still his friend, and they still do stuff together. But I don't think that was particularly fair on Morrissey
Nah.
at that time. Yeah, so Woodlow and Morrissey and Morrissey took it well. He took it on the chin, mocked Enzo, told the crowd to shut up and everything. Other than that, this was, you know, a kind of a decent big guy match. I feel like the chanting took people out of it for a bit instead of concentrating on the match. Wardlow just won't leave the top rope alone. Last week was a swanton bomb. This week was a moonsault.
Landed on his feet as well.
Landed on his feet. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, just very, very good. I think it was a bit of a shame we only saw one power bomb to put away Morrissey rather than the
Yeah.
usual 3, 4, or 5 that we get. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah. I'm still loving all this stuff, all this
Mm,
Wardlow stuff. Like, they're just letting the crowd do the entrance. Like, it's just happened naturally over time as well. It's not like there's been any force, like Goldberg stuff been put in. Like, obviously the security, but you know,
yeah, that's about it.
I
Yeah,
don't I don't feel like they're going, right, we need to copy Goldberg. It feels just like it's just got that energy, and the gasp the crowd made when he lifted him up for the power bomb, like, it just sounded sick. Like when he actually got him up, the crowd went, oh, like you could
mm,
just hear it. And yeah, he's just, and I love the start of it, how there was just that kind of, he's a big guy and Wardlow is a bit more nimble, staying out the corners. Like, that stuff was great.
yeah.
But yeah, the closing bit, like the aftermath, that was just so crazy.
So the security come back out to put the cuffs on him and escort him out, and he just started battering the guys that were originally there ringside. Then more security started coming out, and they
And the
literally
crowd
descended on him.
popped for it as
The
well.
crowd
Like,
went mad for
yes,
it.
keep sending
And
them.
they literally, it was literally like that. Like, keep sending them, because it was like the speed. The 1 minute I thought, oh no, they've got him now. There's about five of them in the ring. He just went bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang, forearm. Like, he was clearing the house. Like, it was so cool. And it was that was very Goldberg-esque.
Yeah.
But again, it's not by design, I don't think. It's just literally organic the way these guys are coming. And I always laugh when you see these guys that are less than flipping 200 pounds coming out wearing security t-shirts, and it's like, you guys are security. But this was great. Wardlow said, like, I'm not stopping until you release me from my contract. MJF then came with, right, you want to really release from your contract, you versus me. If that's what you want, let's do it. However, he's got some conditions. He's not saying it in this rundown city of Baltimore. He's going to save it for his beloved Long Island next week. Steve has said here in the chat, do you see one of MJF's stipulations being Wardlow being handcuffed in the match? I have this image that Wardlow breaks free from the cuffs before the comeback. The crowd would go crazy. I think that makes sense,
I
giving
was
he's
just
been
gonna
in
say,
handcuffs.
like, there will be some kind of handicap to the match where, yeah, he's got an arm tied behind his back or something. But yeah, the visual and obviously just the callback to him being handcuffed for weeks and the metaphor of him being handcuffed in his contract, like, it's all good shit, man.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, can Wardlow deliver a power bomb while his hands are cuffed together? There's got to be a
Yeah,
way.
there is.
There's got to be a
I
way.
saw. I just saw it. There's a way.
There's got to be a way. What's your thoughts? Any other stipulations you would like to see, or you think they'll add?
I don't know. I really wouldn't mind him just. I know we're kind of getting it, but I liked the gimmick of MJF making the opponent, like, these people jump through hoops, like he did with Moxley, Jericho. Like, I wish there was a more like, right, I'm going to make you do this, and this, and then we'll talk kind of thing. I wish it was like known. Like, I get he's just sending people out, but I like the whole just, yeah, this is something MJF does. You have to do this to get to him. But yeah, I didn't know whether this was the start of maybe, like he did with Cody with the lashings and all that, if there was going to be maybe a few more weeks of stuff, or like you said, there's just kind of, I don't know what else you could do to make it different apart from handcuffs or tying an arm behind his back, or I don't know what other, like, what would MJF need from him to get a match. I didn't know if maybe it was a stipulation in terms of, right, if you win, you get this, but if you lose, you're out, or something like that. Just so, because MJF needs something, doesn't he? He needs a
Yeah.
reason for this match somewhat as well.
I assume if MJF does win, then Wardlow stays under contract. But yeah, I think the handcuff thing, or at least one hand tied behind your back. The only thing with that one hand tied behind the back, we've seen it before. Like, to have him totally handcuffed, both hands, I think is where they need to go to make this kind of unique.
And then we get the proper match with no issues when MJF's got the strap.
Yeah, that will be good. No silly stipulations, and we just see who can be the better man.
But I just want to finish off by saying,
Mhm.
send double the security next week. Like I said it a few weeks ago, I could watch 2 hours of Wardlow just taking out security. So yeah, make sure you got another like 50% of that next week.
Definitely. Right. Before we kind of jump into the next bit, guys, I appreciate, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button before we continue. It does loads for the channel. We thoroughly appreciate it every time you're showing support. And like I said, GG's got his own channel, so you can see that in the description. The link to that is in the description, so hit that and subscribe to GG's channel. Right. We'll move on to talking about, because this is where the women's segments began throughout the show. We saw a lot of women's segments on the show. Still just the one match, but a lot of involvement for the women, which for those of us that have been complaining, me being one of them, I will take. I was very happy to see. The one thing I need to say, though, is the majority of these segments were poor. Like, I felt like if you lot don't know how to book women, I beg, just go and get someone that does. Because this really isn't fair on these guys. And I
Do
feel
you
like,
think? But
go
do
on.
you think it's the delivery of these segments or the segments themselves? Because
There's
I didn't like the
every
Ruby stuff. I didn't enjoy, but the content, I wish we could get our hands on these lot. I don't know when we started this, pr-
no altercations.
stipulation, yeah, whatever it is, and you're going to get a receipt, Brit, from this. Like, was it just the delivery? Maybe, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud because,
Like, I think there's a whole host of issues. Like,
oh
for
yeah, yeah.
one, like, for one, and we'll just go through them as they happened in the show. So just call this part one of the women's division chat. But we've seen Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter like every week, like since they said, okay, these two are gonna meet or whatever the case is. Like, why? And nothing's progressing. Every segment is, okay, guys, we're gonna talk, no altercations, thanks for agreeing to that. And we're not saying anything. Like, this story is not progressing. Yeah, we know they're gonna face each other in the first round of the brackets, and you guys haven't even told us what else is happening in the women's brackets, but that's another story. But right now, this story is not progressing at all. Now
how
you've
do they?
added Britt
How do
Baker,
they improve
added
this?
Ruby.
How do you think they improved? Like, but this specific like story that they're trying to, I, I do we need it on
Firstly,
every week or
no,
is
we don't.
okay?
Firstly, it's a women's match that's going to be at the end of this. These two clearly have bad blood. This no altercation stuff that they keep saying. I'm thinking, are they saying it for a reason or what? Like, let it lead to something. Let Tony Storm be sneak attacked by someone in the back or something, and CCTV catches it, and maybe it's Reba or something like that, or Rebel or whatever. And then yeah, then Tony Storm almost has a crutch by the time they have their match. Like, if you want to progress this some way, somehow, come on. Like, this has been at least, am I
3
exaggerating if I say
weeks.
4 weeks? Like,
Well, it's at least 3, I'm sure. At
yeah,
least
like
3.
of the exact same thing. Tony Schiavone standing in between Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter. Now, obviously, Britt Baker came back. She's in the picture. Ruby Soho, oh, I don't want to hear you speak. Ruby Soho's, they've added her. And still, no one's, touching each other, nothing like that. I don't
They
know.
they could have even just done a little dentist. What is it called? The dentist time with DMD. What is it called?
Yeah, she ain't done that for time. I can't remember,
No,
but
but
I
they
know what
could
you're
have.
talking about.
Even that is
Yeah,
just
I know
make
what
it
you're talking
look different at least. And it's like, come into my show. You can't touch us, but I'm gonna talk crud on you while
about.
it's my show. Blah blah blah. But I don't know, man.
It is all very lazy and stuff, and yeah, it's just not going anywhere fast. But they're gonna have a tag match on Rampage this week. So yeah, I guess that'll be the altercation starting. This is where we saw the Hangman segment. Following this, I guess we've already kind of spoken on that. And following the Hangman section, we saw videos of a debuting Konosuke Takeshita, I think his name is. And he's going to be taking on Jay Lethal on Rampage, I think, as well, for his AEW kind of TV debut. Jay Lethal backstage segment against Satman Singh. Sorry, with Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt was again going after Samoa Joe and all this kind of stuff. Any interest in this at all?
I didn't even know why then Samoa Joe was like, I don't know, like I'm gonna take you on, but then okay, well now Samoa Joe is gonna come out. Like, give me more Samoa Joe any day of the week. But yeah, I don't know. And I liked, just doing the little. It was inoffensive. It was inoffensive.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
We next had on the show Santana, escorted to the ring with Ortiz, taking on the Wizard Chris Jericho. Where the hell did that come from? Did I miss something?
I'm sure he's referenced it before. Like,
Apparently, he
or
said
just
something about it last week, but I must have not
yeah,
caught
that's
it.
what I mean. I'm sure he's referenced it, but honestly, it is probably just one of those things. He's doing it on purpose. He knows how terrible it is. I think he is just intentionally annoying us with terrible gimmicks. Like the influencer for one was just that's gonna get under people's skin. He
Yeah,
knows people don't like influencers, or some people don't like,
yeah.
influencing. And yeah, same with the Wizard of Wrestling.
He did pop me last week where I think it was either on Rampage or Dynamite. He said the AEW Galaxy, obviously
Yeah,
akin to
yeah.
the WWE universe. So yeah, he is definitely pushing the boundaries with this whole sports entertainment thing. Um, Santana and Ortiz, man, I don't know when they're gonna be free of this Jericho stuff, but it was a decent match, nothing to write home about. Santana had a little tribute to Eddie Guerrero, which the crowd got excited about. Um, Jericho put away Santana with a Judas effect. Um, there was this little segment afterwards where there was a baseball bat used by Jericho on Ortiz, I think it was. Um, but yeah, like I'm saying, I'm more interested in seeing Santana and Ortiz just move away from all this stuff. Like I don't mind the JAS and whatever kind of jokey stuff they're doing, but just leave Santana and Ortiz alone and let them go and do something that their skills actually require. Like, what did you think of this?
Same. Yeah, I get it. It makes perfect sense. Jericho, the inner circle's just broken up. They're sour. Eddie Kingston's obviously, needs a program going into Double or Nothing. And are we going to get Homicide and Hernandez as well? Is that what we're waiting for?
They keep mentioning it's 5-on-3, 5-on-3. So I'm thinking Homicide and Hernandez are coming. I'm thinking even maybe Conan jumps in as a manager. I think just putting them all together. They don't do like mixed wrestling or anything like that on AEW. Otherwise, I'd say stick Diamante in with them as well. They've all got history. So yeah. Other than that, like again, it's just kind of until Eddie Kingston comes back and Eddie doesn't know that wrestling's not real, ramps it up with his intensity. This is just going to be plodding a bit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
After this segment, we had Samoa Joe cut his promo, fierce as always, and I believe at this point, this is when we had the brackets released for the Owen Hart tournament. Now, from what I remember, we got Adam Cole versus Dax Harwood. We've got the dream match of Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin. We have, that's all I can remember. What else have we got?
Phoenix.
Phoenix will take on Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh yeah, and then Joker.
Right. Samoa Joe will take on a Joker in a tournament that they have been doing qualifiers for over 4 weeks now. Bruv, what the hell is this? What do you think? Like,
I don't even know, man. It's just a cop out. Like you're completely correct. You've qualified. All of these people have had to qualify. Why does this specific? Unless you're going to tell us, unless there's been a dark qualifier match no one's seen that they're just going to bring footage out of. I don't know, but yeah, there's no rhyme or reason other than you're debuting Cesaro or Miro's coming back. But
so
then why would
I
you give
love both
him?
of those.
So do I. But why would Miro get the thing is, yeah, I don't know if you remember or you saw, but when Adam Page was the Joker for that ladder match, they did a little thing in BTE where he opened a thing and it was like, we want
Yes.
you to come back. Here's a
That's
Joker.
when
So
he was
they,
lying in bed or something.
yeah, so they explained it and there was a little detail there.
Yeah.
I don't see them having any, even if it's a small explanation. They're literally just going, oh, someone you don't know is going to be in this tournament. Make sure you watch. And it's just, yeah, I'm not a fan.
Steve says TK has a huge announcement. Like, this is it's mind-boggling that you've just thrown in a Joker into something that you've been making people qualify for. No one's complained that a Joker's just bypassed them and come into the tournament.
Well, they might, but it
They
still
have
doesn't.
to.
Well, yeah, they'll have no, but yeah, they'll have to on the tail end. Why did you get in? That's going to be a feud starter, surely. But why though? Still,
Yeah.
why? Why?
Like, at the very minimum, if they're not gonna put like someone like Bobby Fish and Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, those kind of people, they need to kick up a fuss that Bobby Fish, you know, can't just be left out and then you bring someone in. That's not fair. Like, it just has to happen. And then, that's what I expect from AEW, because they're the smarter product in terms of what they put out. And then again, once these brackets were finally revealed, as we've been asking for, it just doesn't look like what I'm. Okay, is that your prediction?
Who else is going to win it apart from maybe Darby if he gets past Adam Cole? Like, if they're going to pull the trigger on Darby and we get, maybe that's too soon. I don't know, man. CM Punk Darby again, maybe if Punk wins the strap. But I don't know. I'm excited for Samoa Joe Phoenix. Like, if that could happen, that what I'd really love to see. But more than likely, the Joker is beating Joe through shenanigans, even possibly. But that's what I would love to see Joe and Phoenix. There's a couple of matches in there that are deep. Like Adam Cole Darby does intrigue me. Like that's a good match. Like of two, future AEW champions potentially. But that's what I wanted this tournament to be. I wanted it to be the Young Bucks, or massive names that have dropped everything to go. Now I need to be in this tournament. That's what people do in G1 season. No one's doing
Yeah,
anything else. Even the champions in the G1. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
We're all in it. Like we're all in it to win it. But obviously, some people are distracted with other feuds. But I don't know. Maybe it's just not the right time to have this tournament. I just think it needs to be maybe just longer, build it up for longer. Have, like you've said before, have the brackets mapped out so that then at least we can see, oh, give us a shock win. And, you can tell, what people are going to expect from seeing the brackets, who's going to go where. And then you can subvert our expectations by having a loss that messes up everyone's predictions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's benefits from doing the whole bracket thing from early.
And
But I
and that's
just,
and that's the intriguing part of tournaments
yeah,
and stuff like
yeah.
that.
But now it's
Um,
just like, right, here they all are. All right, okay. Well, Adam Cole's winning.
yeah, yeah. Adam
Because
Cole's got to be the favorite.
Ray Phoenix or Kyle O'Reilly aren't winning. Samoa Joe is going to lose to the Joker. Darby and Jeff, if you make Jeff Hardy win even that
No, that's
match,
not. It's not
like,
happening.
and then Adam Cole's obviously got to go forward.
Mm.
So where else does it go?
Yeah,
Unless they're
I
putting
would
the
have liked
rocket
to
on
see.
Dax Harwood, like unless they're stepping into the move.
I did think that earlier today. I think that would have been someone I would like to see get at least a longer run in the tournament, even if he's going to eventually lose.
But
Um,
if the tournament was mapped out longer, we would
yeah,
have felt that way. Do you know what I mean? Even if we just knew like a round before the qualifier, you could have feud matches that you're having anyway, but call them qualifiers, couldn't you? Like
yeah,
and
yeah.
still have it mapped out if you're but yeah, at least we would have seen Dax. Oh, we know he's gonna get into the qualifiers and rare tear tear. It's just I feel very, very underwhelmed by the
It
whole
is.
thing.
I feel let down. They didn't obviously come out and ultimately say that Owen Hart tournament is going to be a tournament full of absolute technicians. We're going to go and get Zack Sabre Jr. and Brian Danielson and Gresham and stuff like that. They never said that. That this is fans' interpretation, because we saw Owen Hart tournament and that's what we thought. We were going to get a very high
Yeah.
level, something akin to the G1. They have massively pooed their pants when it comes to this tournament. I will give them till next year to try this again and do this properly, because this has not been done properly at all. This is, very similar to how WWE throw together King of the Ring these days, especially. King of the
Yeah.
Ring used
It
to be
is.
something special. And now the way they've thrown this together and qualifying match, oh, Joker wild card in the bloody semi quarterfinals already. Like,
I
this,
think I would have rathered a one night tournament. I don't know if if everyone's got the capacity for it in terms of,
yeah,
can they do a few matches in a night? That's up to the workers to realize. But yeah, that would possibly be better than what they're
What we
doing.
got.
And I was hoping we'd get some absolute classics from this tournament. We still might,
Mm.
but I'm only seeing a couple of matches that I can think of that could really, really be outstanding. Kyle O'Reilly Phoenix might be good. And depending on the Joker, who do you think is the Joker, by the way, then?
I didn't give it any thought. So I mean, I heard your prediction. You said Cesaro. We've said someone in chat. We've got Johnny Gargano. I think I saw as well. I saw Sting as well. Miro, like you said, any one of these names, I'll be pretty happy with. But I just think the whole premise of having a wild card in a quarterfinal, it just doesn't really make sense.
What if it is a New Japan name that they bring in for the tournament? But they can't, can they? They're busy, right?
Even if they do, it's like the way it's being handled. It just feels like now it's just you're clutching at straws, trying to raise the profile of it again. I'm not doubting these matches. Probably they'll still be intriguing. The final will probably still be very good. It's just the
Maybe
handling of the tournament has let us down, in my opinion.
the winner's surely got to be Derby, isn't it?
I don't know.
Because no, but surely they want a babyface winner for the first tournament. Surely, because do you know what I mean? This is the first Owen you're bringing in, and that moment where whoever wins is lifting the trophy for the Owen, and you're going to have booze. I don't know, man. Maybe it's Derby.
But
Maybe
no one's
Derby
gonna
goes
boo
over
Adam
Cole.
Cole. No one boos Adam Cole.
Not booze, but do you know what I mean? He's still a heel, isn't it? It's not that. It's not the feel good moment that a Derby or a maybe even a Phoenix or
I
a
mean,
Dante Martin or a.
I hear what you mean. I definitely hear what you mean. But watching NXT, I've seen this heel Adam Cole since then have plenty feel good moments when he wins titles and all of this kind of stuff. Like, especially his music, man. His music will drown out everyone. Everyone will be doing this and booming along. And
But could you imagine Derby, bro? Like beaten, battered, tired, can't get, like Sting lifts him up to hold the trophy. That's a visual. Do you know what I mean?
Darby's good because he's the underdog, just how
Yeah,
Owen Hart was the
exactly.
underdog.
That's yeah.
But in my opinion, they have not played into any of that throughout this whole tournament. So are they going to start now? Who knows? I don't know. Just to take some of the comments, Squared Circle podcast. Thanks for joining us, guys. They said, "How's it going?" Totally agree with your points on the Owen Hart tournament. Steve said, "I love to see a video package where wrestlers say that what Owen Hart means to them and why they wanted to be in this tournament. Again, something they should have done from way, way back now, not like starting it now." Earl, knowledge in the building. What's up, Earl? He says, technically, the tournament hasn't started. Let's see the presentation next week when it officially starts. I mean, yeah, but like, this isn't what any of us signed up for. Let's be honest.
Yeah, like the thing is, that is all well and good, and I do trust in their process, in their booking. I'm confident that they will do something good, but I'm not as invested as I should have been. I was,
Exactly.
6 months ago, when this tournament was just a name, I was hyped for it. I think we all were. And like you said, maybe certain elements is us overgassing it in our heads and what it could be. But yeah, I'm not as excited as I thought I'd be for it.
Yeah, definitely wasn't expecting this. I expected more, expected better. Like I said, I will give them the benefit of the doubt. Pandemic hangover next year. I hope this comes, bigger and better.
Are the matches starting next week? They are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right. Should we let's make like a prediction of the final two each then? Like at least.
As in who's gonna make the final?
Yeah.
I would say I'm gonna say this and just see if they dare to do it. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly.
See, that's an option as well. But is it too soon? But I was thinking that could happen.
It's definitely too soon, but maybe.
I can't get this Derby image out of my head now, but you can't not have Adam Cole on the pay-per-view. Screw it. Derby versus the Joker. Whoever it may be.
Whoever the Joker is. Okay. I mean, we're still, like I said, we're always going to get intriguing matches. The wild card is going to be intriguing. We just got to wait and see at this point. Moving on through the show, we saw the Gun Club. They gave the Acclaimed 2 boxes, along with their dad. The Acclaimed opened the boxes. There were scissors inside. They all started scissoring each other. I beg you lot, don't clip that. We move on to this segment, which, again, Varsity Blondes are in the ring, yeah? And the Varsity Blondes basically call out House of Black. House of Black come out. Julia Hart is obviously with Varsity Blondes. By the time House of Black come out, she's kind of backed herself up into the corner. As well as that, she's wearing her eye patch, and I don't know what to call it. The fungus, the virus has started, the poison, as they think they said, started spreading.
Sorry, but before you go to that next, just I know obviously you're going to run through it. I did like that visual of, the 4.
How they cornered her.
Yeah, no, but it was the Varsity Blondes were spotlighted, but she was outside in the same lighting as the other members of the House of Black, which I thought looked good.
Yeah. Just to touch on the promo by Pillman, I just thought it was a bit. I don't know what to think of this guy. Like, maybe he's long. Yeah, I just don't know. So anyway, the House of Black lay an attack on Pillman and Griff Garrison. Griff Garrison's down on the ground, and they pull over Julia Hart. And, they stress the point that she's a young girl. She's 20 years old. They hand her a chair. And it was Buddy Murphy that kind of put his arms around her and kind of pulled her into towards Griff Garrison, signaling, hit him with the chair. To be honest, I couldn't help but think, why Buddy Matthews? It's recently obviously just come out. He's seeing Rhea Ripley over in WWE.
He's a gallus. Man's a gallus.
And you know what I kept thinking as he put his arm around Julia Hart? This whole Mysterio Aaliyah stuff. And I said, oh no, like, is anyone else seeing this? Is it just me? But yeah, they sorry, I put the image in everyone's head.
You're right. Could be though, man. You're right. It could be.
So he brought her over. He had his arm around her, which at this point, that's why I thought this isn't necessary. But it just gave me those flashbacks. And she kind of lifted the chair to go hit Griff Garrison. The crowd were hot for it. Everyone wanted this to be the turn and, cement the turn. And Julia Hart bottled it. She didn't hit him. Like, why? Like, did you expect this to be the turn as well?
I think I had seen some stuff on Twitter throughout the day briefly where someone had complained about it not happening. So I was already... But I think I would have, if I'd not known that, I think I would have been like, yes, finally, yes, it's happening. And then it just didn't happen. Now, I get building suspense, but this is already going on a bit too long as well, man. It's just...
Very long, yeah.
Come on. Like, just do what you're doing. And Brody should have been the one grabbing her up. Do you know what I mean? He's the bigger, scarier person.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, poor.
Yeah,
like
it's
just scrap this, scrap all of it, and just book House of Black versus BCC at Double or Nothing or something. I don't know. And then it's just messy with they're feuding with the Death Triangle though, so that's just messy in itself. They should have cleared this bit up. Right, Julia, you're with us now. Right, cool. Right, now on to Death Triangle. Right, yeah. Okay, now BCC. It's just a bit too, and I do like a lot. Or I do praise them a lot for having a lot of moving parts in this galaxy,
interweaving storylines,
exactly, which I do appreciate sometimes, but sometimes it just messes it up a bit and gets it too muddy.
Sometimes long-term storytelling is only needed for certain stories, not certain things that they're doing that okay, we know you want to put these guys against these guys, you want to put this team over. We do not need weeks and weeks of TV and segments and matches to do that. Like the Julia Hart turn, I feel should have come tonight or last night. Like people were hot for it. Like um Victor Punk says here, why Julia Hart stayed on the ring while Justin Roberts was doing the announcements. Yeah, I think I saw a couple of people saying that she kind of overstayed her welcome
Yeah.
in the ring. Earl says, with the way TK books, we might get the Julia turn by Christmas.
Merry
um,
Christmas.
yeah, I mean, yeah. And then, of course, the save was made by Death Triangle, and that took us into the Ray Phoenix versus Dante Martin match, which I believe was a qualifier as well for this Owen tournament. Um, really, really good match, really fun match. Obviously, some premier kind of high flyers in this match. We saw the likes of a double moonsault, which they both landed, which I thought was absolutely nuts. And then Ray Phoenix eventually put away Dante Martin with like it looked like a soft pile driver. It wasn't quite like
It
on
looked
his
all
head.
right, but not what we were,
Yeah.
the Rikishi driver or whatever he
Yes,
calls
it,
it.
it was. Yeah, it wasn't that, but it was like a kind of softer landing sort of thing. Put away Dante Martin and Ray Phoenix enters the tournament. What was your thoughts on that match?
Fun. Just exactly what I don't know. Maybe I had higher expectations. It didn't deliver to what I really wanted it to. I don't think it got to the real heights I wanted it to.
Mm.
But yeah, it was fun. Some good spots, the little leapfrog spots, and then they both went for the leapfrog. That was cool. Anytime I get to see Dante Martin do that, like backflip over an opponent, and like I love that shit. And he done like a jump, like both his legs up and
Oh,
jumped over Phoenix as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was very,
He,
very impressive.
he's very special. I know Darius is injured right now, but I think they need to put that tag team. It's hard to say because they're so young; they've got so much time. But like Dante has left this guy in the dust. With all due respect, like by the time Darius needs to come back, he needs to come back on maybe some jealous tip and tries to take out his brother or something like that. Because to put Dante back into a tag team almost feels
Like a step back.
counter. Yeah, it's
Well, not even
counterproductive.
that, but I think you just nailed it on the head. Dante's just he's got too much stock that his
Mm,
brother hasn't got, unfortunately. So it's not even a step back in terms of division. It's just his partner is not his partner. It's already the Marty Jannetty, and we've seen him tag about 10 times or
and
something. I
then,
don't know.
yeah. It's true. It's true. We had a little backstage segment with the baddies, or as they're calling them, Jade and the baddies. Jade just basically saying she's a champion, this, that, and the other. Red Velvet, how she's going to go on and win the women's Owen Hart tournament, and what's her face? Kira Hogan, just nothing. I thought she was going to say, like, I'm going after the women's championship. No,
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
not on nothing. Like, she said, oh, yeah, that's on period.
yeah.
And that's it. So, again, good to see the women featured on the show. It's a step forward, but the segment was just a bit whatever in it. Like, it was put there for the sake of being put there. Darby Allin had his little spiel backstage with Sting on the fact he's going to face Jeff Hardy in this tournament and that it will be special. We then had Thunder Rosa came out for a chat. So this was, I guess, part 3 of the poor women's segment. She came out. And we've seen Thunder Rosa do like the whole impassioned promo as the Latinas tend to do. They mix the English with the Spanish and they're fiery and it's
Thank you.
brilliant. Like, however, as I was watching this wasn't that, by the way, at all. And as I was watching this, I thought every time Thunder Rosa has done that, it's been like a pre-recorded segment. It's been like backstage and a pre-recorded bit. So this is one of the few times, especially as champion, they've given her, a live mic, go out to the crowd and everything. It was cute at best.
Why was she smiling so much, bruv?
Yeah.
Like it's honestly, she was smiling too much. Why was she so happy to be about to face one of the most dangerous women in the world? Like, not only in kayfabe, like she shouldn't be smiling that much, but she shouldn't be smiling that much. Like her character works, like you said, when she's bringing that fiery Latina out and she's just spieling off Spanish that some of us don't understand, and we no, but we can just infer what it means, and
Yeah,
sometimes it's
yeah,
more impactful because she could be we could make up the worst. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And like that is, you've nailed it on the head. I was going to say exactly what you were going to say. That's what we need from Thunder Rosa. She needs to be, every promo needs to be someone holding her back. Like, do you know what I mean? Literally,
yeah.
where she's just going for someone. And Deeb saved it somewhat, like a little bit, because I think she's more competent on the mic. Little. Like I think she's slightly more competent than Thunder Rosa. Deeb tried to like give that little ending tag to the
Mm.
promo, and then Thunder went like put her mic up as if, oh, shall I
Like
say?
just to go through this, everything we've said is correct. Like this almost felt like, obviously we saw in maybe the last week or two, Becky Lynch came out and said the women at AEW aren't doing it as the women in WWE are. They get less opportunities, and she more or less said we're better anyway. Like she said something along them lines, just paraphrasing. And it almost felt like Thunder Rosa got sent out to do PR, like, or for all of those criticizing AEW women's division, we're trying to make it better. Like, please, give us a break, sort of thing. Then obviously she called out. She said that she's been up and down the road watching a particular somebody. She's talking about Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb, she called her out. Serena Deeb came out very quickly, and there was a load of respect between the two, which is fine. It worked somewhat. There was just like, I went up and down the country. Serena Deeb was saying to Thunder Rosa, and I don't know if you noticed this. Thunder Rosa was basically ad-libbing everything Serena Deeb said. Like she'll be like, oh,
But not with any vim or passion, like you said. Like it should have been what, like,
yeah.
because she went, tell me,
She
or
was
something. She said it
literally,
one,
yeah.
tell me.
She's
No,
literally
no,
ad
what?
libbing her like them two were writing a song. Like, oh yeah, that I'm the best woman in the division. Okay, but I've got the belt. Yeah, I have a ton of respect for you. I've got a ton of respect for you too. Like, what are we doing here? Like, yes, this is the champion versus the number one contender. So we need very little to build to the actual match. Just by placement, you two will face each other, which is absolutely fine. But there was no heat here. There was zero heat. Serena Deeb just like, yeah, to make this division better, I need to be champion. This, that, and the other. Long stares at each other, almost like they're looking at each other like, okay, it's your line. It's your line now. Like, go on, speak. The crowd didn't seem very invested in it. They threw up the double or nothing graphic afterwards. And to be honest, I just felt like, well, again, I'm happy to see the women getting more segments, but you probably could have just thrown up the double or nothing graphic, and everyone would have just been happy, because this segment, this altercation between the two was
Ass.
yeah, it was
Hot
very weak.
ass.
It was very weak. Like, and Serena Deeb can bring the fire. She can bring the passion. We've seen that in her bloody street fight she had last week. Like, she said some nasty things as well about Shida, and again, maybe it's because it's pre-recorded promos. Like, maybe if that's where those women's strengths lie, that's what you stick to. But yeah, again, it wasn't a great showing for the women. We found out as well that John Silver, hometown hero, is going to take on CM Punk, which we mentioned earlier on, and then we had the main event, Ring of Honor women's title on the line, Deonna Purrazzo versus Mercedes Martinez. So for those that don't know, Mercedes Martinez became interim champion of Ring of Honor women's division because it was Deonna Purrazzo that couldn't make Supercard of Honor. So this is when Mercedes Martinez took on Willow Nightingale and beat her, and is holding the interim title. It was good to see Deonna Purrazzo in AEW. I think this is, the next platform for her. I know this is probably just a one and done because she's contracted to Impact, but
Especially if she's lost her belt now.
especially because she's lost the belt now.
Did you hear though the introduction from Mercedes Martinez's introduction? He called her one half of the
yeah, one half of the Ring of Honor women. Yeah, that was very.
And then Deonna got the Ring of Honor World Women's Champion. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mess. Just to kind of get through this match, it was a decent match. I wish they got more time. They kept banging on
Yeah,
about 60-minute time limit. We'll stick with it till the end, and then I can't remember how long they got. It wasn't like
it was
overly long.
about 12 or 13 minutes, I think, about to bell
Okay.
ish.
Um,
Might have even been shorter than that.
Mercedes Martinez put her away in the end with a Dragon Sleeper. At the
Why
beginning of the
tapping
match,
out Diana Perazzo as well?
who is a specialist in that field. I know. In the beginning of the match, Deonna Purrazzo didn't want to accept the Ring of Honor, Code of Honor, the handshake, but she initiated the handshake at the end of the match. So again, I thought this was an okay match, but I thought it felt in the arena this was super flat. It felt like, right, you've given us a title match for a title that's not on this show in the main event for two women facing for this title that, and there's always this constant argument when it comes to AEW's audience about the smart fans and the casuals, whatever. But let's be completely honest. On TV, you're going to get probably a lot of casuals watching. And these two don't really resonate with AEW. Mercedes Martinez is signed, but hasn't been featured loads or in anything particularly prominent. Deonna Purrazzo, again, from her exploits on the Indies, NXT a little bit. I don't even want to say that because they botched her there. Mainly Impact and what the great stuff she's been doing there. But these two aren't core to AEW's audience. So it's like, as someone that watches in the crowd, how invested can I be in this? You see what I mean?
You could hear some smart fans pop for Diana Perazzo,
Of course, you did.
but the casuals were there because they wanted Enzo. Like, do you know? I mean, not that. Well, yeah.
Probably, yeah. It's like I'm happy. Obviously, like we said, John Perazzo signed to Impact now, or has been signed to Impact, and obviously AEW have copped Ring of Honor. So this was obvious that they had to take the belt off Diana Perazzo. I'm happy for Mercedes Martinez because she often gets, she's the 20-year veteran and all that, but what has she really, really done? You see what I mean? So this is a good place for her to be, in my opinion. Once some type of Ring of Honor TV show, streaming service begins and we're getting weekly shows, at least she's, again, a recognizable face somewhat that people can, tune into and know, okay, this is the face of the women's division right now anyway. So I think it's a good spot for her. But I just feel like, again, they've tried to do something for the women and it just hasn't really worked out. And I don't know. They can book the men so well. Like, is it that much different or difficult to book women? Like,
I don't know what it is. I honestly don't know what it is. But yeah, just more Diana Perazzo, please, is all I could say.
yeah, they're gonna have to wait a while. Oh no, well, I say a while. Deonna Purrazzo's contract is due this year.
Oh, is it?
That's 100% accurate. Like, it's due up this year. I don't believe she signed a new deal yet. I thought it was due already in April. I actually thought it was up. I guess not, but she's definitely coming to the end of her contract. Someone they need to sign. Someone they definitely need to sign. She needs to leave Impact and go to the next level, like I said earlier. But is the AEW women's division somewhere you want to sign to? That's the
Well,
thing.
she's already tried with WWE and it didn't go well.
I mean, that's true. She could stay with where she is in Impact, where women are treated very well. So yeah, that's what AEW Dynamite looked like. Like we said, there's talking points in the show. However, it wasn't the most crazy show. Nothing to really scream about. We're about 3 weeks out, or should I say about 3 Wednesdays out from Double or Nothing. Anything catching your eye at this moment?
Hangman Punk is going to be a brilliant main event. But you're gonna if you honestly, I don't know, man. It's not really tickling my fancy at the moment. I'll be honest. Like, I mean, Deeb and Rosa, I'm somewhat hyped for the match itself.
Good match, yeah,
Like,
of
I
course.
am. It will be a strong women's match. Deeb in a title match, I'm a big fan of. So that's good. But other than that, I mean, what else are we really getting? Like, hopefully, it'll be nice if Starks and Hobbs make it onto a pay-per-view card.
Mm,
Um, and the Owen final, but it all depends how it's all mapped out. But honestly, at the moment, everything I've listed has been poorly booked so far, or it's not got me as excited as I'd hoped. So
yeah.
hopefully they pull it around and we get a good show.
And like we were saying earlier, the BCC surely have to be on the card, but how are we going to get there in the next 3 weeks is the question.
We haven't even had Trent versus Utah yet, have we?
No?
Maybe it is best friends. Then maybe you're right.
Yeah, it makes the most sense, but yeah, we got to start putting that in motion as well. With 3 weeks out. Cool. That is the AEW Dynamite review. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us. On your way out, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. You can subscribe to GG's channel, which is down below, GG on Wrestling. It's in the description, so hit the link for that as well. And for everyone listening on podcast versions, please make sure you follow us, subscribe to the podcast as well. Hit us with a 5-star review. We'll thoroughly appreciate that. We will be back same time next week, hopefully with more enthusiasm and some really good stuff from AEW Dynamite. But until then, WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.